Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have another amazing episode. I got to interview my sister again, and this time we're going to be talking about laughter yoga. Karen is a practitioner of Chinese medicine. She's an acupuncturist, she's an energy healer, and she's a laughter yoga instructor. Man, that is like a resume right there, and that's amazing. And we're going to learn a little bit about her history, how she got into laughter yoga, and what kind of benefits laughter yoga has for you if you get into it. It's a wonderful practice. So, on with the show. Hey guys, welcome back to my show. I'd like to welcome my sister, Karen Calderon, back. If you missed her in the last episode, she is a practitioner of Chinese medicine. She's an acupuncturist, she's an energy healer, and she's a laughter yoga instructor. And today, we're going to be talking about laughter yoga. So, Karen, please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you're going to talk about today.
Well, my name's Karen Calderon, as Eric said, and I'm a laughter yoga instructor is one of the things that I do, and we're going to talk about laughter yoga aside from being an acupuncturist, an herbalist, and an energy healer. And we wanted to talk about laughter yoga because many times we hear laughter is your best medicine, but can it actually be a medicine? So we wanted to tell you today a little bit about how it's a medicine and how you can use it and some of the scientific studies behind it and why it's just so easy to incorporate, and it's super beneficial and transformative, and actually it's a lot of fun and it has tons of amazing benefits.
So how did you come across laughter yoga?
I was in India, and I saw like 5 people. It was like 7 a.m. and I saw 5 people standing on a corner, laughing and like raising their arms up and laughing. And I was like, what are those people doing? That looks so kooky, but really fun. So that was like my first introduction, and then I heard about it. And then later on, I guess I ran into it again later on once, and I was studying Chinese medicine, and I found out what those people were actually doing, and I saw a documentary on it, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of crazy, and just very curious about it. So that's how I kind of stumbled upon it. Yeah.
So by definition, what exactly is laughter yoga?
So laughter yoga is a practice which uses laughter to get the medical benefits and all of the other emotional, mental, social benefits that you can get from laughter. But it's structured in a way that it works to get the benefits. So yoga is the science of the breath, among other things. And so you're actually using breathing exercises together with like skits, stretches, to help stimulate first the movement of oxygen in your system, the movement of your diaphragm, and then getting the laughter so your body can get the benefits of laughter. Because, so in a nutshell, that's what it is. Is that correct?
And then today we're going to be covering the mental, right? Today we're going to be covering the medical benefits, the mental, psychological benefits, and the physical benefits, right? I mean, because that kind of covers all of it, right? So let's talk about the medical benefits.
Yeah, so the medical benefits, I mean, I guess it helps to understand, excuse me, it helps to understand where this comes from. So in 1995, there's a doctor from Mumbai, India, named Dr. Madan Kataria, who had read some information on laughter yoga and that it had actually a lot of medical benefits. So in 1995, he got like 5 friends to get together with him and try laughter to see if it actually had those benefits. And everyone was just felt so uplifted and so great. But they started by just cracking jokes. And after a while, the jokes got old, and then they started getting a little nasty. And so then, then some of the people got offended and got upset. So he went away and he said, actually, let me see how I can do this so we can get out of that territory. So
Yeah.
what he did is he put together these exercises in a way that you don't have to have a sense of humor, you don't have to crack a joke,
Uh-huh.
but it still incites the laughter. So from that, from Dr. Madame Kataria, who is a physician and put this together, there's laughter clubs all over the world in all of
Uh-huh.
the countries of the world. So it's been around for a while,
Uh-huh.
and there are proven benefits to the laughter yoga. You can even find them on the website of the Mayo Clinic, for example.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So one of the ones which is of extreme use today
Uh-huh.
is that it actually boosts your immune system, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's been shown in studies that it helps increase the natural killer cells and the T cells, and who doesn't need that today, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and the way that works is it's all about the oxygen
Yeah.
intake, and so when they say breathe deep, it actually means that your exhalation is longer than your inhalation.
Uh-huh.
And so with the normal like inhalation and exhalation, it's usually your people exhale 25% of their total lung capacity, which
Uh-huh.
means 75% of the lungs is filled with carbon dioxide.
Uh-huh.
And so that's all needs to leave the lungs really to get the full benefits. And so with the laughter yoga, the exhalation is going to be like 4 times the length of your inhalation or how
Uh-huh.
much you usually exhale. And
Uh-huh.
so right there, you already start to get that oxygen exchange, which kicks
Yeah.
in all of the immune boosting factors.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
I read a study once that because I really got into breathing exercises, and
Uh-huh.
I read a study that said that people with cancer tend to take more breaths per minute than people that don't have cancer. I don't know where I read that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were doing like an average count of people that I can't really remember the exact specifics, but it was something like people that take 12 to 14 breaths a minute are more unhealthy than people that take 9 to 10 breaths per minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So that kind of really goes along with what you're talking about with the laughter yoga on the getting all that air out. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, because it makes sense. And if you're breathing faster, your breath is more shallow,
Shallow, much more
right?
shallow. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're probably breathing in more than you're breathing out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And stress will make that worse. Stress will
yeah,
make people's breath even more shallow.
yeah. That
Right.
is
So,
interesting. Okay,
mhm.
and so I'm sorry to interrupt you. So continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's a really great one is the immune system.
Yeah.
And I know some people who, when they get sick, and this doesn't take the place of, taking a medication and everything if you need it. But like say someone gets a cold, like they'll do, 3 doses of laughter yoga a day,
Uh huh.
like a vitamin. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. And the thing is, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's like one way you can use it.
Uh huh.
So 1 dose would be 10 minutes of laughter yoga. How easy is
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That is okay. So medically, laughter yoga boosts your immune system. Okay.
correct.
And what's another benefit medically for laughter yoga?
Another benefit is it benefits it actually is protective of your heart. It has
Okay.
anti-inflammatory effects, and it helps.
Uh-huh.
It's been shown that people who have high blood pressure,
Uh-huh.
like after they've done a laughter yoga practice, the blood pressure actually can come down.
Uh-huh.
So it has protective benefits on the heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got immune boosting and anti-inflammatory properties
For the heart, correct?
for the
Because
heart.
because of the increase of oxygen intake.
Uh-huh. Okay. And what else?
The other one is it's a natural painkiller
Uh-huh.
because laughter helps release endorphins,
Uh-huh.
and endorphins are a natural painkiller. And so for problems like arthritis or spondylitis or muscle spasms, and it's helped people like with migraines,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's some areas it helps open up the muscles as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wow, that is
yeah.
powerful. So, okay, so medically we have an immune booster. If you do,
hmm
let's say we're doing laughter yoga every day, we're going to boost our immune system. We're going to help the anti-inflammatory of the heart area, right? It's going to help with overall heart health. And then you have natural pain blockers. So you're going to feel better all around with less pain.
Correct.
That is powerful. That is very powerful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
people who have chronic pain, this can be a helpful on
Yeah.
many levels, because chronic pain will also start to affect your emotions,
Yep.
will
Yep.
affect your just your spirit, like your
Yeah. Yeah.
disposition.
Yeah.
So aside from the pain, it starts to go into the other levels that are affected by people who have chronic pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Quality of
that's
life. Yeah.
well. This is a great gateway from going from the medical to the mental emotional, right?
hmm
So let's talk about the mental emotional aspects of laughter yoga. How can I benefit if I'm doing laughter yoga emotionally and mentally?
So one of them is a stress buster.
Uh-huh.
So who doesn't have stress today, especially today? The
Yeah.
world is a stressful place. And so the way it does that is by decreasing the stress hormones like cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine. And the way that happens is because you're taking that deep breath, your diaphragm is opening up. And when your diaphragm opens up, it triggers a parasympathetic nervous system to kick in.
Uh-huh.
And then you're also massaging all of the organs, start massaging the organs in your abdomen.
Uh-huh.
So it's really good for your digestion.
Uh-huh.
And so that's the parasympathetic nervous system is the sleep and restore.
Uh-huh.
And the sympathetic is a fight or flight.
Okay.
And so stress is fight or flight. And then when your diaphragm starts to open up, you start taking those deep breaths, increase oxygen, and then you start releasing all the the endorphins, and the stress hormones go down. And then so it helps you with the stress. So
Okay.
that's fantastic. And who doesn't go somewhere, you laugh for 10 minutes and you forget about all the stuff that you were like, what am I going to do about this? Right. And everything suddenly feels clear. Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got stress buster. What else?
So another thing is it's shown in studies to help with depression, from everything as deep as depression to along the range to go to like a mood lifter.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so for something like depression, you'd really want to get into regular practice. I mean, I think you would for all of these.
Yeah.
I can tell you about my story as in terms of a mood lifter. The way I actually decided to come into laughter yoga was because being an acupuncturist, I've been dedicated to health and wellness, I guess, since 1992. And I started my acupuncture practice in 2000. And, over the years, I've become a better and better listener. And I also became a magnet for my friends to tell me about all their problems because I was such a good listener. And just working and then coming and on my off time having that, I started getting really, really serious because I want to support people. That's kind of what I do. But it just wasn't helping me. So I kind of lost my connection to my joy in a way. It was hard for me to laugh. And so I saw this teacher in California that was going to give a workshop. So I signed up for that, went for 3 days and got my laughter yoga certification to teach.
Cool.
And it was just amazing. And I started a 40-day practice and I just saw like all of the, I felt more joyful, more relaxed, more expansive, more playful. And it was definitely, help with a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So I got from 40 days and then later on, I mean, I can talk a little bit more about the different ways you can practice, but with the pandemic, speaking of the mental emotional factor,
especially with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I started a practice and an online practice with a group of people where we practiced every day.
Yeah.
So we practiced together every day for like 6 months. And then I continued on and, we did the online together, 30 minutes a day. But I 2 times a week with the group, but I continued every day for a whole year. And
that's powerful. That's a long time, I mean, yeah. So I guess you going from you going to that 3-day seminar and then just going 40 days in a row and then a whole year of practicing laughter yoga. So you've got a lot of powerful experience and powerful stories in how it's transformed your personal life.
It really, I felt like, especially in the pandemic, it just
Yeah.
helped with the stress.
Yeah.
I got more, it helps like kind of melt these like social boundaries we have between people. Like it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you get close really fast.
Yeah.
And it also helped in areas I didn't expect. Like it helped with my creativity. It helped me like step out of my comfort zone in many ways. And
Uh-huh.
so yeah, it was super. It's a very interesting experiment, and that's the way
Yeah.
I approached it. I'm going to try this the way they
Yeah.
recommend it, and I'm
Yeah.
going to see, how does it affect my life. And it's one of the most powerful transformative mechanisms that are
Uh-huh.
fun,
Yeah.
and it takes a very short amount of time.
And it's easy. All you
And
got to do is laugh.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And it can feel awkward,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's not funny, but your brain actually from these studies shows that your brain doesn't know the difference from acted laughter from a
Yeah.
real laughter.
Yeah.
So after a little while of acting like you're laughing, you're just going to start laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So on the emotional, psychological, mental level, we have the stress buster. We've got the mood lifter, and then you said it helps with creativity and overall self-image. So these are some great benefits that I guess by participating in this simple 15-minute a day practice that you're going to benefit from.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
What is the typical length of a class or of a session of a laughter yoga session in a day? Like you said, you're doing it every day. What's the typical length of a session?
So they say to get the benefits from laughter yoga,
Uh-huh.
you want to have like a full 10 to 15 minutes or
Uh-huh.
longer, right?
Yeah.
At least 10 minutes of deep breathing
Uh-huh.
together with a hearty laughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And just do that every day. And
Wow.
you want to like, what they recommend is doing 21 days.
Uh-huh.
So you can start and you do 21
Yeah.
days. And if you really want to, experience your life really shifting,
Yeah.
40 days.
40. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you did the 40 days, right?
I did it the first time, which I think that was in 2016.
Uh-huh.
That's when I did the 40 days, and yeah, it was just amazing. Yeah.
So you took this course in California in 2016, the 3-day
Mm-hmm.
course.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, you did it a 40-day. Now the 40-day laughter yoga, I guess you had a group to do it with, or you did it by yourself?
No, I did it by myself.
Oh, wow. That's even harder to do, because I know it's easier to get with a group of people and get on Zoom and practice every morning together. But then doing it by yourself is intense. That's self-discipline. That's tough.
Well, I made a commitment because
Yeah.
I had such a great experience from the 3 days
Uh-huh.
that I wanted to see what would happen if I did the 40 days. I think
Now-
I first committed to 21, and then I was like, this is cool. I'm going to do 40 days.
Now, okay. So now, was this like a New Year goal that you did, or was this just out of the blue a goal? Because we've been talking about New Year goals and commitments and goals and all that, resolutions and all that, and it kind of falls into that. So this was like a goal that you.
Yeah. So it wasn't New Year's. It wasn't New Year's. I had a goal that I wanted to. I wanted better health for myself, because I know that when you get serious. There's another saying that's saying serious leads to sickness.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted a better quality of life than just getting really, really serious.
Yeah.
And so that became my goal, is to see how I can shift this.
Yeah.
And so then came the next goal. So it wasn't New Year's, but I got the tool. And then I made, okay, well, I'm going to do what they prescribe to see if I can get because there's a medical study, right? So you got to do a measured effect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. Okay, so now let's move on. So now we've talked about the mental, psychological benefits. We've talked about the medical benefits. So what are the physical benefits that we can get from laughter yoga?
Well, the really cool thing is, look, I'm not someone who likes to go to gyms.
Uh-huh.
I love hiking, okay, but I don't like gyms. I don't like treadmills. And this is especially good for those people who like just sitting on the couch, which is something great to bust out of. But you know, it's a great cardiovascular workout because we've
Uh-huh.
talked about like filling your lung capacity. We've talked about increased oxygen intake. Well, this is like an excellent cardiovascular workout.
Uh-huh.
So if you think about it, it's like 10 minutes of laughter yoga, of hearty laughter yoga is equal
Uh-huh.
to 30 minutes on a rowing machine.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So yeah. And again, it's because it increases your blood circulation. It has benefits like a cardiovascular workout will have. It
Yeah.
will benefit
Yeah.
all of your organs, your muscles, your brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the different areas. Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty neat. And let's see. Have you seen a difference, like let's say in your physical abilities because you were doing laughter yoga all the time? Did you feel like you were in better shape?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I didn't really measure that, so
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
really say. I can say that I definitely noticed some of the other things that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talked about, like my this it actually makes you look younger
Uh-huh.
and more attractive. I mean, who doesn't
Yeah.
want to look more attractive? I mean, you
Definitely. Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
like thousands of dollars on this stuff, but like my face, my cheeks were more red, which is what
Yeah.
happens when you have increased circulation.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't actually measure like,
Okay.
it would be an interesting thing to see if your oxygen intake is different, your
Yeah.
rate of
Yeah.
respiration and all of that stuff. But yeah.
But I'm sure it picked up your step, right? Like you were walking lighter. You were probably feeling better emotionally, which means kind of leads into the physical. You know.
Well, I can say that for some of the participants that were on my call,
Uh,
when we were doing it really regularly, and then we stopped, and then we did a practice together. After not having done it for a while, it was a lot more difficult. And actually,
yeah.
even for myself, like when I've taken
Yeah.
a break,
Yeah.
it's a real workout. Like you can really
Yeah.
feel, and when you really get into that hearty laughter,
Yeah.
you start sweating, you get tired, you have to take off your sweaters,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I can see a difference in the capacity of doing a regular practice, and then when I've stopped and picked it up, that it wasn't as easy.
Yeah.
So in that regard, yes.
That is so cool. Okay, so just to review, just to summarize real quick. So medically, right? It medically, it boosts your immune system. It benefits your heart rate with anti-inflammatory effects, and it's a natural painkiller, right? And then emotionally, it's a stress buster. It boosts your creativity. It boosts your mood. It helps fight against depression, and it helps build confidence. And physically, it's like a 30-minute rowing session, and it gets you breathing heavy, it gets your heart rate up. It's very aerobic, right? Now, what other added benefits can someone get besides these from yoga, from laughter yoga?
Okay, well, I mean, we talked about it making you look younger.
Yeah.
So it's like a natural fountain of youth. Just
Yeah.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
It will. What I noticed for myself is it helped with. It helps you feel more playful. It's easier to connect with people. It encourages childlike play. So maybe for things that maybe you wouldn't have been so inclined or scared to do,
Yeah.
you just jump in and do it, and you won't
Yeah.
think twice.
Yeah.
It also is really good, especially like for right now with all of the things and the stresses of the world that have been happening. It helps like move any pent up emotions. But you don't have to go through like a therapeutic process of figuring stuff out, which is actually really nice, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's, with the childlike part, they say a child laughs 300 to 400 times a day.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Whereas an adult, if you're lucky, may laugh 15.
Yeah.
So it moves you back into that childhood innocence, and if you just think of all of the beautiful things that children have at their disposition,
Yeah.
So it really activates those things.
Uh-huh. So it's okay. So it's like a fountain of youth. So an added benefit is like it's a fountain of youth. It activates the child within us,
Yeah.
makes us more playful, makes us more social, helps us and more attractive too. You mentioned that earlier. It makes us more attractive. And I somewhere I read, I can't remember where it was that I read. Maybe you sent it to me that men tend to fall in love with women that laugh and smile a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like, and we have, Valentine's Day is coming up, so you can have
Yeah,
all those people going out looking for their sweetheart, right?
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, if you're with a group of people and one person's all grouchy and the other person's laughing, well, you're going to be naturally inclined to 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 know what's going on with that person's life, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's just like a magnet.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, not that you want to, and I mean, this is an interesting thing when you're practicing laughter yoga. It doesn't make all of the other emotions wrong, which
yeah,
we in our other talk we talked about
yeah.
depression during the holidays. I
Yep,
mean,
yep,
we have
yep.
to honor each one of the emotions, but
Yeah,
this is just laughter as a tool for
yeah,
transformation, to make your life better, for health, and
yeah.
and then it's a lot of fun while you do it. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's very Zen because in the Zen Buddhism philosophy, they talk. It's a lot about it's everything is a vehicle. Everything is a vehicle to achieve something. So laughter yoga is a vehicle so that you can benefit from all these medical, mental, psychological, and physical aspects of your life. Right? You could go and run 5 miles a day and you'll get some of those benefits as well. But so it's just a vehicle. Someone doesn't like running, hey, try laughter yoga because that'll give you the same effects as exercising aerobically for 30 minutes, right? So that's really powerful. So do you still practice laughter yoga today?
I do. Yeah, I do.
And
What
how
what
often? How like
so
how,
I mean, I've been through some major transitions, so are shifting in the rhythms of how I do things. But
mhm.
the way it's happening now is I've incorporated it into different activities. So I even have a video about this, which we can put links below for the different things. But
Yeah,
like I create laughter spaces. so like I'll do laughter practices when I'm cleaning the windows after I take a shower from
yeah,
my
yeah,
I'll when I'm in the car and on a drive, so I'll do some laughter practices,
yeah,
and so like that I weave it into my day,
yeah,
and I make a conscious effort to make sure that it's a part of my day.
yeah,
Even if it's silly and goofy, or if I start getting really serious, I'll try to laugh at myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's
um,
funny too because we're talking about childlike the bringing out the child in you. And when I had little kids, I remember they would just laugh for no reason, and the silliest, the littlest thing, and they would start cracking up. Like you'd go like this, and you go peekaboo, and they would just start cracking up.
that's true.
And we lose that as we get older. And this is just a wonderful way to bring it back. You're forcing yourself to become young again. And then you're benefiting your medically, you're benefiting your body with immune boosting, heart anti-inflammatory, and natural painkillers. So as you get older, those joint pains and arthritis, the pain starts to kind of disappear. And then, you're reducing the stress in your life. I mean, there's just so many benefits that we've talked about today. More people should do this.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it keeps you limber. I mean, it's fun. Number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, that's the thing. You have to kind of go through, some phases of your mind kind of going, this is really like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just say, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And it just becomes easier and more loose as you go along,
Yeah.
and it keeps you limber. It keeps you limber in your mind. It keeps you limber in your emotions. It keeps you limber in your body, and then
Yeah.
in your disposition to do things.
Yeah.
Because typically, as people get older, they start getting a little more rigid, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A lot more rigid. Yeah.
yeah.
I remember I participated in one of your laughter yoga Zoom calls, right?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, in the beginning it was hard to laugh, and then I started laughing at you because you were laughing and it looked funny, right? But then that kind of snowballed, And then I was just started laughing. And then by the end of the 10 minutes, I felt really good. I walked out of my room feeling good. And, and it is hard to do that. I guess we get so used to feeling bad that it's hard to make yourself feel good because your default is not that. It's like getting out of your comfort zone, and then you go back to your comfort zone, but you've got to continually push yourself out of that comfort zone. So, I mean, that's wonderful. A 21-day challenge, a 40-day challenge to do this would be wonderful for people to do.
Yeah, I would invite everyone or anyone who listens to this call.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it, and we can put some links below, but you can do it on YouTube. You can find laughter yoga clubs by going to laughteryoga.org. I have a YouTube where I have videos uploaded that people, when I started, I did the same video over and over and over and over, 15 minutes, But I would invite people to try it. I mean, you'll feel like you were saying, Eric, I mean, you feel the effect the same day.
Oh yeah,
but
right away.
It just compounds. So I would invite whoever's listening to this to try it for 21 days.
Yeah.
And if it feels good, see if you can just make a huge shift in your life. Try for 40 days. It would just rewire your nervous system completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's funny because I did hear the story of someone that I know, and she had cancer, and they told her that she had 6 months to live or something like that. And what she did every night, and this was probably like 30 years ago, right? She's in her 80s or 90s right now. And she said that every night she would turn on comedy shows to laugh. And she said that laughter helped heal her from the cancer that she had, that was going to take her life. And she's still alive today, which is really powerful,
Yeah, I think they might implement that in the hospital for children who have cancer, actually.
Yeah.
So they've started implementing that in some of the hospitals.
That would be a great thing to see.
Yeah. I mean, I was in some of the medical studies I was reviewing. It was interesting. They were saying, wouldn't it be great the day that doctors tell you the same way they tell you to do exercise 30 minutes a day,
laugh.
Just to tell you need to laugh 10, 15 minutes a day. When what I would love that, doctor. I'd be
they pull out their RX card, their RX prescription card, and they say, laugh 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, totally.
Well, there was a movie by Robin Williams. I think it was called Adam Patch. Was it called Adam Patch?
Oh, Patch Adams. I think
Patch Adams.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a true story about a doctor that started to implement laughter and playfulness in the process of healing, and he opened up his own clinic. It's a wonderful movie. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, I remember that. I'd like to see that again. It was a long time ago, but I seem to remember that. Yeah. So it's a. I mean, these are a lot of words to describe something that you really, I think you have to experience. And if you just think of when you've gone into a room and people are laughing, and you just start laughing, it's contagious. I mean, there are times when I was doing laughter yoga practice and I was camping and I was, just like, I'm doing this every day, right? So there I am on my own looking like a complete loony.
Yeah, you would look like a loony.
Right, yeah. And people would walk by and they would be like if I was having a party, like, what is she doing? I want to do that. What are you doing, right? So people would ask me. And so, it's contagious.
That is cool.
Yeah. Cool. So I think just bringing it down to your own experience of how do I feel when I've been stressed and I go and I'm laughing with a bunch of friends and in no time I'm just like, oh, life's okay,
And the cool thing is you can laugh anywhere you want, True. I mean, of course, if you laugh in public for no reason, people are going to think you're kind of loony, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, one of the practice, again, you make use of. I started making use of the spaces that I thought were really boring and that I didn't like, and that's how I came up with that video: is create a laughter space for yourself. Yeah. And so when I was commuting to work, I would do that as 10-minute laughter, right? How easy is that? And I make sure I'm watching the road and everything. But I had one guy who was like, what's that girl doing? And he rolled down his window at the stoplight and he's like, what are you laughing at? And of course, and I was just like cracking up even more, like laughter yoga. And he looked at me like, oh, that girl's nuts.
She's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did it on my commutes out of work. That helped me relieve, the day.
That is fun though. It is fun. I think it's fun when to get people to think you're nuts. I think that's a fun thing to do. Oh, she's nuts. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I got a lot of that.
Well, Karen, I really appreciate getting to talk to you today. That was really awesome, powerful conversation. I think I got a lot of benefit from it. I'm sure that anybody that watches this video is going to get some value out of it, and I hope that they try laughter yoga. And of course, I'll put some links in the description. You can go to Karen's YouTube channel, and she's got some laughter yoga videos up there. But definitely, thank you so much for today. And I appreciate getting to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. And I really hope people get inspired to try this fun, easy thing. And if anybody wants to, they can also, we'll put my email. You can sign up for my mailers. So when I do events, you can be included in those. So you can try it out.
Karen, thank you so much for being a part of this interview and getting to provide such valuable information for people that are looking for ways to be healthy, to, boost their immune system, to help them feel better, give a little pep in their step. And thank you, Karen, for providing such amazing value for people that are watching this video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next episode.